Kimmy the Gadget Goddess, and I know I've kept you waiting for this update. I've had this phone for weeks now, but I had trips that came up and just other things that happened that didn't allow me to have time to sit down and record a video for you after having the phone a week, after having the phone 2 weeks. Here we are, 3 weeks in. I'm here to answer questions that were repeatedly asked at the unboxing. Number 1, do I like this better than the Vivo? Number 2, what provider am I using? Number 3, do I get 5G? And probably questions you didn't even think to ask. So let's get into this video right now. I'm outside in the fresh air because that's what this phone is to me. It's like a breath of fresh air, let me tell you. I am so impressed with this device. I've even had some offers on my Vivo that I'm kind of ready to bite on at this point. Now let me say first and foremost, this is not a blow at the Vivo X Fold. Great phone, still a phone I would find light years ahead of my experience with the Z Fold 3, but there's something to be said about what Xiaomi did between this phone and the first model foldable that they put out, the Xiaomi Mix Fold. I like my experience with this phone, and here's why. Weight alone, this phone is a lot lighter than any foldable I've had to date. So it's like carrying a regular phone. The thickness is not that much thicker than a regular phone, and it's just nice. It's not a heavyweight in my pocket. It's not a heavyweight in my purse. It's just, I can take it anywhere, wherever I need to go, when I need to go. Let's get it. Secondly, everything works. The notifications worked on my Vivo X Fold. The notifications work on my Xiaomi Fold. But things like RCS that didn't work on my Vivo X Fold work on the Xiaomi Fold out of the box. I didn't have to play with APN settings. 5G works. So if you're having 5G issues and you have this phone, make sure your APN settings are set for epic and not fast if you're on T-Mobile. I can't speak for AT&T. I wouldn't recommend this phone for anybody on AT&T. I had one person comment on my last video and tell me, hey, I had AT&T. I activated this SIM with a Pixel and then stuck it in this phone and it's working. With AT&T, it could work for a week, it could work for a month, and then you could be done. Just my personal recommendations is not, if you got AT&T, T-Mobile is going to be your only route unless you have Mint Mobile, which is also T-Mobile. And when I speak of 5G, I was at Myrtle Beach, tested this next to my Pixel 6a, and I got the same speeds on both devices. Worked just fine at the beach. 4G works fine when I don't have 5G. Oh, my matte screen protectors are still wonderful on this phone. If you didn't see that installation, I'll plug that video here if you might be interested. Yes, there's a crease in the phone. All foldables have a crease because they have to do what? Close. I guess for all the people who come high, who just want to get some recognition for their Z Fold 4s, which I don't feel like this is a battle. I think everybody has a fold that's meant for a fold. Everybody has a phone that's meant for them. If you like the Z Fold 4, that's fine. I don't need flex mode when I had a kickstand come with my phone. If I want to view YouTube or other things, I can still view them in landscape mode without opening up the whole screen. Shout out to Forbes. She's been cranking out content on the Z Fold 4. I have no issues with Samsung. A lot of people think I'm a Samsung hater. I've owned multiple foldables from Samsung. But I don't see where the outcry is. It doesn't have flex mode when I can achieve those same abilities with my kickstand. Now, if you're talking about typing like the little computer, I never used that when I had the Samsung. So to each their own. If that's what you like, that's what you like. For me, I just never used that feature. So it's not a big deal to me. Water resistance, I'm not going swimming with my devices. But if your phone gets water damage, whatever phone you have, none of these companies are replacing that phone for free. So you might want to go read the fine print on that part. You have a year warranty for software and stuff like that. Water damage, completely different. For everybody else who's all about this, I like that the Xiaomi can multitask, but I needed to multitask in landscape and not vertically. Okay. You turn off MIUI optimizations in your developer mode. You can get split screen. This is YouTube up here. This is Twitter down here. If you want to go back to the whole vertical thing, you turn it sideways and they're side by side. Yeah? That work for y'all? So let's throw that little elephant out of the room too. There's your multitasking on top of one another. Here's a feature I use every day. I thought I would miss the slider from the Vivo X Fold, but I really don't. Let me show you why. When I get to work in the morning, I hit the sidebar and there's 3 dots that come up over here. I can set the timer to do not disturb for 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, or 8 hours. I do the 8 hours while I'm at work. If I want to end that sooner, I don't even have to come back in here. I can just hit the button and it tells me through my alert that, hey, it's turned off. You can do that for your silent and your do not disturb. You can set a timer for minutes or hours if need be. It's only increments of 30, 1 hour, 2 hours, and 8 hours. And again, you can turn it off whenever you feel like it. And that's one of my newest favorite features. And I found it completely by mistake, but it comes in handy for me at work because if I put my phone on silent, I'm still getting alerts on my watch. I'm not bothering surrounding coworkers. And I don't forget to turn my alerts back on when I get off work. All my Google apps work just fine. Google Pay works just fine. I use it whenever I go to Taco Bell. No problems with Google Play services. If you're feeling froggy and your bootloader's unlocked, or you can achieve unlocking your bootloader, you can root this phone in 3 minutes. Head on over to my folks at XDA who are not putting phones in forums anymore unless there's a lot of demand for it. So head over to XDA, go into the Xiaomi Mix Fold forum. You will see a section about the Mix Fold 2. Once you go into that section, you will be able to find people talking about this phone. They will guide you through the root process. I have no interest in rooting this phone. That's for my people who want Android Auto to work. Yes, people have this phone working with Android Auto. So for everybody who asked me that, if you go over and root your phone, you can achieve Android Auto. It will work. I get alerts on all of my apps. I mentioned this in my previous video, but I feel like, everybody doesn't watch every video. So I'll refer you back to my video where I showed you how to turn on alerts so you don't have issues with delays. I made it when I had the Oppo Find N, and I will plug it here. Go through the steps in this video, and you should be able to get alerts on your Chinese variant phone. And while I'm talking about Chinese variant phones, let's get into this while we wait for the global, because there will not be a global. I have not seen a foldable to date that has a global release from a Chinese company. I think they're basically telling us to shove it here in the US. If you want one of these phones, you're gonna have to get a Chinese variant, or you're stuck with the Z Fold and the Z Flip. For now, even the new Motorola Razr is not coming to the US currently. I've heard rumors that it's coming, but I would like to purchase that device. By the time I finish with all these things, I can pick that phone up. Somebody requested that I put a third-party launcher on the phone. I went in and put a third-party launcher on the phone, so I only use lawn chair, y'all. See, I have a lawn chair. Nova works without the gestures working. So again, if you want launchers, head on over to XDA and root your phone, because that's the only way you're going to get things to work like launchers. I am really good with this phone, basically stock with me just loading the Google apps. Took this phone to Puerto Rico, so I have more pictures for you and I have more video for you. Went to the Bacardi, because we've been saying that wrong our whole lives here in the States. We went to that tour and did a tasting, so I have pictures from that and video from that I'll throw in here. Now, the respect that you're not going to give this video that I'm going to stick in here of the tram ride. The tram vibrated the whole time we rode on it, to the point that my nose started itching. It shook that hard. You can see none of that when you see this video. So keep that in mind when I play the videos for you, and keep in mind that this phone is just amazing device. Unless somebody does something outstanding by the end of the year, I'm 99% sure this is going to be my phone of the year. So let's get to those pictures and those videos.
Here, this was commonly used for the family activities. For today, we're going to have it all for ourselves. So remember, my friends, wait until the vehicle comes to a complete stop, and then everybody can hop off. So my friends, I already spoke up a little bit about Don Facundo and the trolling, so now let's talk more about Amalia. Because Amalia in the 1800s in Cuba, she was considered to be a rarity. Because in those times, it was considered to be rare or almost out to impossible for a woman to get heritage money from their own family members. I know that sounds horrible. I'm happy to things change. But that was her reality. Because she had a family member that actually cared about her. But unfortunately for her, that family member passed away and left all this abundance of money for her. If you don't know what she decided to do with that big abundance of money, she didn't decide to spend herself living that lavish lifestyle. But instead, she decided to bet everything in Facundo's dream. And that's how everything came to start on February 4th, 1862, for the first time ever. Santiago de Cuba is what they bought their first distillery.
One of the things that I don't like about this phone, okay, this is Gboard. This is my phone open with Gboard. Now, the only way I can get it to split the keyboard is to turn it literally in landscape, even if the phone is open. So I'm sure that's something with the software, but it's kind of a pain to have to turn my phone, because when I open it up, it should just be split screen. I'm not gonna sit here and act like this phone is perfect, right? Because I keep it real with y'all. If I gotta complain, I gotta complain. This is my Huawei Health app. It works with my Huawei watch, which also works with this phone. I can't speak for the Samsung watches. I don't know whether they work with this phone or not, but my Huawei watch works with this phone just fine. Last but not least, I am returning this case. You see, I'm not even sitting here putting it on the phone for you. I picked up this case on Amazon. If you want to be able to use gestures, swiping and carrying on, it's kind of like when I had the issues when I had my case journey with the Z Fold 2. Gestures are just unusable when you put this case on. I was just looking for some front protection for my phone. I did purchase a case from overseas, a clear one, and it cost me like $5. So if it doesn't work for me, fine, but I forget how much this case cost, but it was not worth what I was trying to invest in just for front screen protection. So it's going back to Amazon. I'd like to thank you for your time, because time is money, and I appreciate everybody's time spent on my channel. So I'm gonna wrap this video up as I have my girl Spec Tech doing, this is a video when she was covering the Vivo X Fold. Shout out to her. I think she did an update. So you need to go check that out so you can see exactly what she was talking about there. I'd like to thank y'all for stopping by the channel. Thank all my members for their memberships. I'm fresh off of a members only stream from last night and we had a blast. I have members only streams once a month for my members. That's every channel member. And then I have Kings and Queens to get extra perks there. Again, there's never any pressure for people to join memberships on my channel. Thank you for supporting my channel by even just watching my channel. I appreciate the views, the likes, the comments. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Leave your questions down below, and I hope to catch you on the next video. Hi.